All right, back to chapter 5, video number 9. We're going to carry on with this loan payment program. So in the previous video, I went through on how to talk about the basic structure of that, and we're going to come back to that. But one of the other components in here is this new control here, this term, which is a pull-down list. And this pull-down list, or what they refer to as a combination box or combo box, is that you can add items and then make it kind of collapse, which is different than a list box. So the combo box has a slightly different behavior to it than the other type of box. Now you might think that I would go into that particular control, and then in the properties I would actually select and put in my terms in there, the 12-month term, the 26, the 24, and the but and I could do that. I could go in here and I could put those terms in here. But I chose to take a slightly different approach on this one. And that is, I'm going to load the actual items at the time that the program is run. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you guys to a new event handler called load. And this is a great event handler, because what it does is it allows you guys to do things to your application at the time that the application is run. So one thing I did in here is I had a little message box. So as soon as the program loads, it's going to display this. But also I want to load up my combo box, and I'm going to load it up by adding in a variety of different numbers into here. So as soon as I run my program, and as soon as I click on start and compiles, it doesn't even allow me to click on an event, because the event of loading itself is the event. And as soon as it does, as soon as I start the program, it stops right at the top. That's where I put it, and it's going to start loading in those 4 values. So now that term control has added 12, 26, 24, and 52. And also I'm going to change the color. I'm going to change the background color of the form. So right now it's kind of this blue. I'm going to change it into a light blue. So as soon as I finish that, you'll notice that even my color of my program changes. And this term box has now got those codes in it. Now, for example, if I was to shut the program down, and let me just stop the debugger for a moment. Let's go back. And let's just take this out. I'm going to just comment it out for a moment. And I'm going to run it again. This time it'll just run. It should be the same color, the same default blue color. And sure enough, it is. You can see right there. All right, so let's just go in and take that out. And I could change this even to like a different blue. Let's say I change that color, the background color, to just regular blue, which is maybe a bit darker. As soon as it loads up the items, and it also changes it to a dark blue. So this is giving you an opportunity to make modifications to the form when it loads. And this is a very important tool. For example, right here, if I had this one in here, and I'm going to change this back to a light blue, and let's run it again. So at the beginning, it's going to show this message box, welcome programming students. And I've got a typing error in here. Let me just fix that. I just had a typing with light blue here. Recompile. And what happens is it compiles the program, and it brings up this message box. There's the message box when the program first starts. You haven't even seen the form yet, because it's showing welcome programming students to chapter 5. This is Ryan's chapter number 5 in class. Message box. As soon as I click on this, it loads these controls here, and it sets the color to blue. So this load event handler is extremely useful, because it allows you to pre-set up anything you need to set up as defaults in the form before the user even has access to it. So I've added this method, the strategy to this form to illustrate how we can use the load event on the class, this form class right here, to initialize it. All right, so from there we'll go on, and we'll keep going with the rest of the components here on